Our wonderful guest is on the line. He's played over 300 games for Manly. He's a one-club man, one of the most classy operators in the NRL. Yes, I'm talking about the Manly Sea Eagles captain, Daly Cherry-Evans. Daly, welcome into the program. Thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it. We know you've only just landed. How does it feel coming back to New Zealand? First time in a very, very long time.
Yeah, it is. It's nice to be here again. I mean, I've got some fond memories of coming over to New Zealand. Everyone here is always so welcoming, and I've been watching on TV, obviously, the crowds that these guys have been getting since everyone's coming back to sport and NRL's back in Auckland. It's awesome, so I can't wait to be a part of it on Friday.
Aside from being at Brookie, what is the best atmosphere at a rugby league ground in the NRL?
I know what you're trying to do here.
Oh, disgusting, Kirst. Disgusting.
Well, look, I'm a Queenslander, so you know I love Suncorp Stadium. That for me is almost like the homeland of rugby league. I'm obviously a very biased Queenslander, but like I said, I reckon there's something special brewing over here, and the Kiwis have obviously been winning, and with that, obviously you get a lot of crowds. So I think that combination of these guys winning over here and obviously people wanting to get back out and see their sport, I think it's going to be a pretty exciting game. I've heard it might be sold out on Friday, which is pretty amazing.
Daly, you've got to appreciate that we're a country that if a Hollywood star says anything nice about our country, it's front page news. So we really like compliments about our own country here. But, mate, I mean, on that note that you always well received, is there an appreciation or the young boys understand in Manly that pre the Warriors, Manly was the Kiwis team, wasn't it? Because of the Iros and Graham Lowe coaching, every Kiwi used to cheer for the Sea Eagles pre to the Warriors coming in.
They did, mate. We've always had a good support base here, like I mentioned before, and you've just mentioned a few amazing names, and Steve Maddai was the one that I got to play alongside. Yes. And anytime we come to New Zealand, I mean, he was the man about town, right? So not only that, but he also came back to, play in front of his family, and he was usually the man of the match. So, we've got a really big contingent of Polynesian boys, some from Auckland, some from, countries close by in Tonga and Samoa. So we're really looking forward to getting over here as a side and seeing a bit of a different atmosphere. And obviously, there's a lot of boys with families here, and that's something that you always tap into as athletes. When you got that family support and maybe family you haven't seen for a while, it sort of gives you a bit of extra motivation to go out there and perform well. So we're really hoping we can upset these guys on Friday.
Someone that you've come up against time and time again, you began your careers together and you probably played NYC against one another as well. That's Shaun Johnson. Can you compare him to other halfbacks that you've played against?
It's hard to compare him, to be honest, because there's only one Shaun Johnson, and his highlights will show why he's so unique, because he does things that most people can't do. So I've always had a lot of admiration for Shaun, and probably the fact that we've played against each other so many times over the years, and we've got different results against each other, it probably just builds that little rivalry. We're both extremely competitive, but as I mentioned, hell of a lot of respect for Shaun. He stayed in the game for this long and he's still playing his best footy. So we'll have to do a really good job on him on Friday night. So he doesn't light up Auckland.
Just to confirm, are you in the affirmative for Shaun Johnson for Daly M Player of the Year in 2023?
I wouldn't. Look, I wouldn't. It wouldn't bother me if he got it. I think he'd be very deserving, but. There's a young kid in the fullback position up in Broncos, Reece Walsh, who's playing pretty good footy too. So whoever wins it's going to be very well deserved of it. But there's a voting panel to worry about that. It's something I don't have to worry about, which is good.
Mate, as far as Manly's season itself gone, obviously it's gone through some highs and lows, and always seemed to be thereabouts as far as the 8. What's the difference that's going to get you in there?
Well, unfortunately, it's come down to results. We don't have the luxury of playing, for the enjoyment. I mean, we're very grateful, we're very lucky and privileged to be playing NRL, but there's an expectation that you make finals every year, I guess, and we've put ourselves in a really tough position where we're going to have to win 3 games in a row. So while we're aware of the results side of things, we've really just tried to focus in on what we can control, and obviously the results of some things we'll be able to control with our performance, but it's how we go about our business, And last week we played against the Panthers, who are the top side, arguably the best in the NRL, and really well to compete for the best part of 80 minutes. And while it wasn't good enough last week, I feel like if we can put something closer to that performance last week with a bit more class, I reckon we'll go a long way to travelling the Warriors on Friday.
Yeah, someone that loves the kicking game, mate. I loved the kicks on 2 and 3 last week. It was quite entertaining sitting back on Thursday night watching that. But mate, this country, we hate Australians, yet we love State of Origin. So it's a funny old thing. And obviously Queensland's the popular team over here. What's State of Origin like for someone like yourself? How much does it take out of you? How much of I guess, obviously the buzz and that, but geez, you must be zonked at the end of a series.
Yeah, no, I love it. I mean, as athletes, when you talk about, what you play for, you play obviously because you just love the game. And part of loving the game for me is the competition. It's the game day competing, going out to battle. And that Origin arena gives you an opportunity to do it on the biggest stage. So I've always loved the challenges that Origin gives you. And for us, it's been so rewarding. The sort of 3 of the last 4 years we've come up with the results. So, but what comes with it is a bit of an emotional and physical toll. So those next couple of weeks coming out of Origin, you really have to be careful about your training, how much you're training, and also trying to get some time off. It's easier said than done to just come back and jump straight back into the normal environment. You're playing maybe in front of 10 and 15,000 instead of 80,000, and just all those things you got to adjust to. But if you just strip it back and you get some time with your family and recharge in that regard, you come back buzzing, especially after you've won.
A couple of listener questions just before we let you go. As Queensland captain, would you be okay with Origin coming to New Zealand?
Yeah, I would. I mean, we're already playing in Perth and we're already playing in Adelaide, so the fact that we know we're going to get support in New Zealand probably works for us. So we could almost treat it like an extra home game.
It'd be perfect. Game 1, Suncorp, Game 3, Eden Park or something like that. The other one here, again, around the mighty Queensland State of Origin side, how good is it having Alfie around? No doubt he loves a laugh and a drink. Do you have any radio-worthy stories to share?
Geez, there's not many, but...
that says it all. That says it all. Hey, we know you're busy and you're at the airport, so we'll let you go. Daly, thank you so much for joining us on the program. We really appreciate it. Enjoy the next couple of days.
SENZ. It's Kiwi for Sport.